It was a wet and damp morning when I decided to go and meet one of my childhood heroes. Not a person, but a thing that represents something that I've looked up to for years, ever since I was a child. One of the biggest contributors from the Norwegian forces during World War II, and not only army and navy personnel, but also represents civilian resistance and the importance of what people do under extreme circumstances to protect freedom and the people they love. This little traditional Norwegian fishing boat is none other than MS Vita, a boat that was built in 1939 and served an important purpose during World War II as one of the Shetland buses. The Shetland bus was a nickname of a special operations group of men and boats that made a permanent route between Shetland and Scotland and German-occupied Norway from 1941 until the end of the war. To begin with, a whole armada of Norwegian boats arrived in the British Isles with refugees when Norway was occupied, but a number of these vessels were used later on to deliver SOE agents, weapons, radios, and all sorts of similar equipment to conduct intelligence operations and raids on German forces in occupied Norway. The unit was operated initially by a large number of small fishing boats, and crossings were usually made during the winter under cover of darkness across the North Sea. This meant the crew, agents and passengers would have to endure the quite brutal North Sea winter storm conditions in no lighting and with the constant risk of discovery by German reconnaissance. The Vita was among one of the first vessels to conduct an official mission on behalf of the SOE, and she carried out 8 crossings before a Norwegian traitor informed the Germans about the ship's arrival. The crew was arrested and Vita was seized, but she was used by the Germans as a patrol boat, so she is one of the few ships that have the, honour I suppose, of having fought on both sides during the war. So you might think that a historical vessel of this important would have quite a high status in Norwegian historical circles, but sadly, my reasons to visit the Vita are rather upsetting and heartbreaking, really. So here we are. 3 hours of driving, I got lost, and we're finally here. Loads of boats here. Usually, all the most common types here are fishing boats and old ferries. But yeah, look at that. That's right there. That's why we're here. Let's go over and have a look. Quite neat, aren't they? Going to be turned into something more useful. Loads of propellers and an old tractor there, and all sorts of scrap metal. Loads of that stuff. Just torn into shreds. Sadly, history is also torn into shreds sometimes. But I guess a lot of these things will be put in something useful. Hopefully, at least. Yeah. But good news is it looks like it's possible to get on board that thing. So maybe we can have a look at the Vita for a last time before she's gone. But it looks like she's next in line, sadly. It is quite a nice boat though, isn't it? Fishing boat, and she's, more than 80 years old. And you can see that her wheelhouse has been restored. All of her stern's been restored. People spend a lot of time trying to rescue this boat. And now there's nothing. It's a big boat, this. Absolutely massive. I didn't think it was this huge, I have to be honest. And it looks fairly, old obviously, but it looks better than I expected. You see up there on the bow there's some damage, that looks fairly new. Maybe that's happened when they towed her into shore here. And yeah, there are some cracks in the hull, I suppose. But it doesn't look unsalvageable, does it? I mean, I've seen things in much worse condition than this having been rescued, and you can see it's still on board. There are paintbrushes there, pieces of wood. People tried. Just sad. Let's try to get on board her, shall we? A bit of a gap here, but I think if I'm looking at it over here, let's try. Wait. Here we are. On deck. Touching history. I would like to go down here, but no stair. Oh no, there is. But let's go down here. Maybe we can find a way in from somewhere else. The machinery is here. Operating in the crane, I suppose. And some. Maybe there's lighting supposed to be down there, but no. Let's see if we can get in the wheelhouse. All this is new, isn't it? Yeah, this must have cost a fortune. It's just going away. To be scrapped into other pieces of things. But yeah, look in this. This is all new. All of this. It's all new. All the wood, all the fittings. Starter motor down there. Look at all the benches. Everything here is new. Oh my god, what a tragedy. It's sad. Small bathroom. Down there must be the engine room. There's new water down there at least. Let's go down there. Let's go upstairs. Find our way into the bridge. Where's up these stairs? Okay, I'm going to have to cut out the video now because I can't climb it. These with the camera in hand. Meet you in a second. So, that is gone. All the instruments are gone. Captain's cabin. Oh, look at this. The Norwegian Navy in Second World War. Oh, look at that. There they are. Type of ship the Vita is. I think I'm going to steal this. Loads of good photos in here. That's more like it. That's how Vita should have ended her days. Should be back on this in the North Sea. Crossing over the Shetland. Refugees in arms. Radios. This guy with me. All sort of brass items. Don't know what all these things are. Candles and stuff. But again, the bridge is rebuilt, it's all new. Everything here is new. What is it? Maybe this is the accelerator or something? Don't know. I have no idea. But she looks good. Here in the wheelhouse. Oh, can you imagine this being your view across the Atlantic? Not, of course, not the huge wreckage and the road and the concrete and everything, but just the bow of the ship. A Lewis machine gun on each side. A couple of blokes. The wind in your hair. And your sixpence. The view's better on the rear though. Look through here. Yeah, that's more like it. Let's just examine this, see if there's anything more of interest in it. Oh, there's more of them. World War II books. Booklets. Nothing. Norwegian torpedo boats. 250 years. Oh, there's loads of books in there. I'm going to take the boxes out. Then we're going to go further. Look at that, Norwegian torpedo boats for 125 years. Let's just open that and see. Oh, okay. Not in perfect condition, but you know. Let's see if it's readable. There's also a piece of history getting lost, so. Yeah, 1970s Norwegian torpedo boats. Pretty cool. I'm going to go through the box and see what I can find. I'm through this drawer here, and there's, well, all sorts of papers down here. Not really super interesting. So, yeah, all sorts of things. Nothing really for me to preserve at least. So, close that up, and let's continue on our tour. I think the wheelhouse is finished. This is, of course, as close as we're going to get here. So. Let's continue back down. See what's in there. Oh, gonna have to find a piece of wood and pry the hatch open. Hang on, let me get some footage for you. So just climb down the stairs into what I presume is the engine room. Now all the way in the stern of the ship. It's not a lot of rot, is there? This looks to be quite decent wood actually. But what do I know? This is underneath the wheelhouse, that was fairly new. On the way here, it looks pretty good. I can't really see why this ship couldn't be saved. There's the outer planking, I believe. The back there. Also, appears to be good wood, this. There's the battery pack. Working our way forwards here. Loads of batteries and chargers, and it's all just been left. Strange. There's some oil in the bottom there, but what do you expect? There's the engine. Huge one. No idea what it is. No idea what any of this is. But not that long ago since Vita ran on her own power. And as you can see, there's probably the fuel tank. That looks rather new. All the wiring here is fairly new. There's another tank, fresh water, maybe, I don't know. Generator. And the main cargo hold, where you can hide at least, well, 50 people, maybe 50 refugees at least. The old engine and the massive engine room. Smokestacks, ventilation, fresh air. Yeah. Oh, there's a name on it. It's a Scania Vabis. Okay, so if anyone of you are in the market for a Scania Vabis, there's one here. Probably available shortly. Let's head on forwards. The crew quarters. Look here. Look here. Oh, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? All the crew quarters have been rebuilt. Oh, there's a new wood. All of it. And the hole back there. Again, the wood feels very good. And there's top side. looks like to be the original ladders in here. Some original planking. The floor looks original. And there's for some reason that's been cut off. Is there anything inside these benches? Well, there's something in there, but it's like old paint. I don't know why I put that back. I mean, the ship's going to be dismantled. It doesn't matter. But you know, it's something to just do out of respect, I suppose. Right. I think we'll just head back upstairs. So, yeah. This is the end of one of the little gallant ships that fought for Norway's freedom and liberty. It's hard for me to explain how outraged I feel about this. After the war, Vita was operating as a fishing boat until 1989, when she was supposed to be scrapped for the first time, but she was saved by a group of enthusiasts, and eventually she ended up in the hands of one private individual. And he made it his mission to save and restore Vita. He worked continuously on Vita for 25 years and has put down an estimated 15,000 hours of labour to save this historical ship. He's changed deck plankings, built a brand new wheelhouse, all the hatches, half the planking above and below the water. The ship's got a new keel, engines have been restored, the gearbox has been restored, there's new water tanks, new waste tanks. I mean, in summary, he's done a hell of a lot of work to this ship. She was passed down to the Coastal Museum of South Trøndelag in 2017, and they claim they have not been able to find the funds to keep this ship around for much longer, and they've made the decision to send her to the scrappers. But I simply refuse to believe that there's nothing left to do but to dismantle Vita, and I truly find it shameful of the Norwegian government, and particularly the Ministry of Defence, for not putting up the funds to rescue her. It would take about an estimated £1 million or $1.3 million to restore her to as good as new condition, but sadly it looks like time has run out for Vita at this point. Thankfully though, there are still 4 other Shetland buses around, 3 of which are the old fishing boat type. The MK Heland, the MK Andholmen and the MK Ørkna are all preserved and still sailing around under their own power, and the submarine chaser HNOMS Hitra is the only survivor of the type of vessel that superseded the fishing boats after they were withdrawn in 1943. I do suppose that their existence is the silver lining in Vita's ending, but who knows for how long these vessels will be around. There was a movie made about the Shetland buses in 1954. It hasn't held up particularly well, but one thing to note is that the actors in the movie are not actually actors. It's the Shetland gang crew members playing themselves. A particular mention has to go out to Captain Leif Larsen, who is also in the movie, and he happens to be not only the most decorated Norwegian of World War II, but he is one of the most highly decorated naval officers of the Second World War entirely. Some of the scenes of the movies, however, are very good though, and they are worth a watch, and the clips are available here on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching this video. A huge thanks goes out to Fosen Recycling for allowing me to access the Vita in her final days.